Mark Williams from BELLE Property Armadale here to discuss when is the best time to sell your Melbourne property. Before I do, please hit the like button, and if you'd like further updates, please subscribe. The number one question that we get from a lot of people is, when is the best time to sell my Melbourne home? Now, there's the 4 traditional seasons, of which we are in winter at the moment. And winter, the quietest season throughout the Melbourne market, there's not a lot on the market. Stock levels are well down, and there's an interesting statistic that I will run through with you at the end of this video, so make sure you hang in there. But the winter market, we're currently in it at the moment. There isn't a huge amount on the market, but things are turning over. It's the quieter period for Melbourne's market. The next one that we come into is the spring market. Spring's our traditional selling season in Melbourne. The gardens look amazing. There's a lot of activity out there, a lot of chat in the market, in the media about what's happening. So a lot of people feel that is the best time to sell their property. But I'll qualify that by saying that spring means increased stock levels, usually by about 30 or 40%. And generally the amount of buyers on the market remains fairly similar, except for late December and January when people go away. Okay, so when the stock levels increase, the demand will come down. So it's something to keep in mind. The next market we come into is the summer market. Now, the summer market, there's 2 parts to it. There's late in the year, which is usually the busiest time. And if you can avoid selling at that time, it would probably be better to wait for early in the new year. So late January, early February is a great time because the stock levels are down compared to the late year market. And also people have had a bit of a break. They've had a bit of time to get away from the property market, and they come back with a renewed vigor. So that February, March market is really busy leading up to Easter. And then we hit that autumn market. Now, autumn is great because the weather is generally pretty good up until the June long weekend. So the stock levels aren't incredibly high. They're stronger than winter, for example, but still at reasonable levels. It's a really popular time to sell. And also, as I said, you're taking advantage of the fact that there's not a huge amount on the market. Now, the statistic that I was talking about before is the winter market. Although it's the quietest time of the year, as mentioned before, there's generally the same amount of buyers on the market at any one time. The great thing about the winter market is that the highest clearance rates for the past 10 to 15 years have been in July and August. And that's purely due to the fact that there isn't a huge amount on the market. So it is a great time to sell, and it takes advantage of that supply and demand principle. So if you'd like some further information on timing, please give me a call. Mark Williams from BELLE Property Armadale.